Hey everyone, JR from the Bridge Cafe. With me today is Ashley Barchus, who's super awesome, and she's here to tell you about these three guys right here. Ashley, who are we? Oh, sorry, let me get it framed.
There you go.
Who are we singing?
Okay, these three beautiful children. The little guy in the blue collared shirt, his name is Louis, and he's about 11 or 12 years old. And in the middle there is Elise, and then on the other side of her is David. Now Louis, he came to the orphanage that we work in. He lost both of his parents, and then he was forced by his uncle into some child labor situations. Now Elise came to us at about the age of 2 or just under, and she had lost her father already by that point, and her mom had absolutely no means to take care of her, and so she was taken by the orphanage as well. And then David, his dad died when he was about 5 or 6, and he was the only one in his family who was capable of making any means of income, and so his dad was a fisherman. So David knew the trade of fishing just a little bit from watching his dad. So he was found, he was spotted out on a boat by some people that work with the Arbre de Vie organization, and so he was brought into us out of those labor situations and brought so that he could have life as well.
And so you say us, you say we, these kids, what they all have in common is that they're all a part of the Arbre de Vie orphanage, and that is an organization that you have fallen in love with. Where is Arbre de Vie?
Arbre de Vie is located in Benin. Benin's a country in Western Africa, right about there-ish on the map. There's Benin. It's a coastal country, and it's located in the western area of Africa. And so Arbre de Vie is a nonprofit organization. It's a non-government organization there in Benin, and so they help with just kids who are deprived, kids who have lost their parents, and then other people in the community with health needs as well.
And who started? I know this was actually started by a guy that you know very well.
Correct.
Tell us about him.
Yeah, Honoré Faton is the man who started the orphanage and who started Arbre de Vie, the nonprofit organization. And so he is a Beninois man, and he grew up in the villages right outside of where the orphanage currently is. And he basically, he came to know the Lord through a series of events after growing up in a voodoo culture. And so what he did was kind of made a deal with God that if he could get out of these desperate situations that he was in, that he would also help and give back to these kids and to the people who would still be in such desperate and deprived situations. And so Honoré's older brothers actually worked in the field and stuff, so they could get enough money. You have to pay to go to school, and so they saved their money and to send him to school. So they gave up their education in order for him to go to school. And so he went to school, and while he was in college and starting medical training, he kept up to his end of the deal that he made with God, and he started this nonprofit organization. And so it is primarily an orphanage that takes care of these kids who obviously have lost their parents and who are in just such desperate situations, who don't have food, who don't have education, who don't have means of getting health care. And then also, because he's a medical physician, he has a clinic attached to the orphanage, and that services the people of the village who either cannot get to medical facilities or that cannot afford to have medical attention. And so there's a sliding scale, so we have them pay whatever they can afford, and if they can't afford it, we don't want to turn them away. So we help them out as well.
Now you hear Ashley saying we a lot. You've been over there how many times now?
I've been there 6 times.
Okay, and you and your husband John are getting ready to move there permanently.
Yes. Yeah.
That's awesome. And we actually at the Bridge found out about Arbre de Vie through Ashley and her husband. They, as you can tell, they love these kids. And so when we were wondering, well, what can we do to help? One of the things that they need is they need money to operate. And so that's actually what the tip jar at our cafe is for. 100% of the tips go straight to these little guys right here. And so, Ashley, tell us a little bit, if one of our customers puts $1 or 50 cents or whatever in the jar, what happens to it?
That's right. 100%, like JR said, 100% of that money goes towards the organization, towards Arbre de Vie, to the orphanage or to those medical facilities. And so, like I said, there's people who can't afford medical attention, and so there's a sliding scale. We don't want to turn them away, but obviously we're just not made of money. It doesn't grow on trees, and so we have to depend on other people to sacrifice by dropping 50 cents in at a time or $1 in for us to be able to help the people with medical needs, or to give these kids just the facilities to live in and the orphanage, for them to have their schooling paid for them to have medical attention, for them to have food that they can eat. Because we're as the organization are the ones who are taking care of them. Otherwise, they wouldn't be taken care of. So we have to depend on the Bridge Cafe and other folks that would be willing to give and help us out. So that's
so
where the money goes to.
Well, guys, there you go. That's where your tips go. Thank you so much for giving Arbre de Vie on behalf of these guys and all of the other. There's 24 other orphans there.
There's
right
27
now.
that live in there right
Total.
now.
So, thank you very much. If you're ever interested in learning more, or if you ever want to go over see Ashley, John, and all of the kids, they'd be more than happy to have
we'd
you.
love to have you. Please
and
come visit.
Any of the Bridge staff can give you more information about that. So, again, thank you so much for your generosity. And here you go. Here's some more information. So, have a good day.